How many of you are familiar with dead internet theory? My friends, I hate to break it to you, it's true. Dead internet theory is a wide concept. There's a lot of different forms of it, but the general idea is that the internet is comprised of bots and fake individuals, and you're not actually interacting with real human beings. I think that's the case. We have this story, and I don't think it matters that it's about poker for those that aren't interested in poker. It's about how robots have basically taken over poker. Why? With the internet and removing the human component from the game, robots were created to surreptitiously play the game to steal money from people, and it's brilliant. The unsuspecting human is being ripped off by machines programmed by other humans. And the image looks something like this. What a great little, is this AI? Dead internet theory. One component of it is that around 2016 is when the influx, the nexus point occurred, in which there were now more bots online than humans. And now most of the interactions you are having on the internet are in fact bots pretending to be people because it makes money in some way. The big story here, I'll give you a simple version. Poker. Do you play it? Some of you probably played it in some form with family or other, but you don't need to be a big poker expert to understand this. Of course, with the advent of the internet, people began playing poker online. So let me explain the general concept of the game, and then we'll get into how your world is being run by bots, your money is being taken by bots, and you probably already live under the boot of the machine. Here's the game. 52 cards in a card deck. You've played cards. Everyone has. Texas Hold'em. Everybody gets 2 cards. You look at your cards. If you like your cards, you can make bets. You have to match the bet of other players if they make the bet, or jam all your chips into the middle. And then 5 cards appear in front that everyone can share, and your 2 plus those 5 to make the best 5-card combination wins all the money. In the real world, human beings, like we've seen in the old cowboy movies, would stare at each other and look around and say, I wonder what he's got. And one guy's looking at his hand and he's sweating bullets and he's shaking, and you're like, I bet he's got aces. Of course, pocket aces being the best possible hand you can have. I was playing poker at a local casino. There's a guy, he doesn't play a single hand for an hour, and then all of a sudden looks down and starts shaking. And I'm like, bro, you got aces. He didn't want to play any other hand because they weren't as good. He wanted the best. He waited till he got the best. Everyone knew he had the best. It didn't work out too well for him. And he made a little bit of money. He could have made more, but he couldn't trick everybody. See, in the real world, playing against people, that's how the game is played. But of course, with the advent of the internet and the creation of artificial intelligence, algorithms, etc., what ends up happening is you get people who go online to play on the computer. Now, instead of drawing cards and looking at an opponent, you're looking at a username with a picture of a cartoon squirrel, and you click raise, you click bet, you click call. The cards digitally appear, and the average person assumes that cartoon squirrel on the other side is but another human being who is making their bets. Now, in the real world of poker, when you're playing against humans, the social dynamic plays a role. What kind of person is this? How are they playing? What do they look like? Are they sweaty? Are they scared? Do they smell bad? These things matter. But when you're shielded through the internet, nobody knows. Here's what's happened. Someone took notice of irregular play online, and they said, the average human being's win rate is around X. But this one account has an abnormally high win rate. They're playing better than the best pros ever. Lo, it was a robot going online into actual poker games and tricking human beings into wagering money they could never win back because the bots always win. That's right, my friends. Humans cannot defeat computers at chess. Humans cannot defeat computers at poker. That's where we're currently at. So what happens? Right now, the leading theory is that many of these online poker websites are dominated by bots masquerading as people and stealing money from you. Welcome to the dead internet. There's no escape. You can't play these games online. Soon, the only way to know that you're actually having real interactions is to be face-to-face. In fact, we're already there. I see these comments when they talk about the bots taking over, and they say, well, at least there's still live poker. It's true. At least there is still live poker. It really bums me out and breaks my heart. I love the idea of poker, a battle of wits, as it were. Poker's not gambling. I play poker quite a bit. It's not gambling. You may think in a certain element it is gambling, but craps, that's gambling. You roll the dice, the number might come up. Every game of chance has some component of skill to varying degrees. Did you know that it's actually possible to learn how to throw dice to land on certain numbers? Yeah, it is absolutely possible. Dice control. So you'll notice that a lot of people will take the dice at a craps table, if you've ever played, they'll line them up and they'll throw it a certain way. This actually has a positive outcome on your chances to roll the number you want to roll. And you actually can practice certain rolls to achieve certain outcomes. In blackjack, you learn basic strategy. You can minimize the house edge. But every game has some degree of skill and some degree of chance. Poker, however, is mostly skill, overwhelmingly skill. Poker players call it variance. When you might get, let's say you look down your hand, you got 2 aces, the best hand you could have to start. But then the dealer drops the flop, the first 3 cards that both players get to use, and it rolls out 10, 10, 2. Okay, but you have aces. Aces are better than 10s. But guess what? The guy across from you had Jack 10, meaning he has 3 10s, you have 2 aces, he wins. Just because you had the best hand to start doesn't mean you have the best hand now. By the chance of what rolled out, you now have the losing hand. But the reason why it's not gambling is that you choose your odds. At this point, you can decide, I'm going to bet big, I'm going to bet small, I'm going to fold, I'm going to walk away. And thus, you control the outcome by choice. In fact, one study found that around 80% of poker hands that won were not the best hand mathematically, meaning it is the skill of the player, not the chance of the cards, that determines whether or not you can make money or win a tournament. But don't get me wrong, chance plays a big role in this. What we're seeing now, with computers playing the game, they know the system so well and they can adapt so quickly. It is, unfortunately, my friends, impossible for you to win. Let me read a little bit of this so I give you an idea of what's happening. A 6-figure challenge was created by a group called ACR Poker, formerly America's Card Room. They said anyone who can create a bot that can successfully play 5,000 hands of poker, it's not that much actually, win money, be net positive, without getting detected, they will pay you $100,000. The funny thing here is, seems like a decent challenge. They're basically saying, you can't do it. You can try, but you will fail. Here's the problem. They had to cancel the challenge because all they did was say, we now accept bots on our platform. They gave you permission. And what happened? Instantly, a wave of bots took over. Already now, suspected accounts and accounts listed as bots on various forums are winning tournaments. It's the dead internet, man. I know the poker element may be esoteric. Some people just don't care about poker, but I'm telling you right now, you do online sports betting, you do any kind of online video game, it is likely that you are competing with a bot, or at the very least, AI-assisted gaming of some sort. I'm sorry, my friends. Welcome to the dead internet. There is nothing you can do to stop it. It's scary, isn't it? It kind of sucks. There's something called game theory optimal in poker. Poker didn't used to be this way. Old school poker, it's wild to watch how bad they were at it. But that was what made it pure. The fact that they were human beings trying to solve problems and outwit each other was amazing. Now, unfortunately, there are people who have studied computer charts, and there is a programmatic way to play the game. And if you play game theory optimal, that's the GTO, you play it perfectly, you are unexploitable, and you will likely win a lot of money. So there are people who aren't really even trying to play the game anymore. They're playing a game with themselves to do the best math they can. Yeah, I respect it. But I like the purity of the game. I like the game being a battle of wits and trying to understand what your opponent is doing as they adapt and change, which is still reality. These computer programs, these AI, they're just better than humans. Humanity is being ripped from the machine. And when I see a story like this, I fear that the future is just going to be robots doing everything. I'll leave it there. I got 10 minutes to leave to board a plane, so I hope you enjoyed these segments today. Tonight, Town Hall with Vivek Ramaswamy. Thanks for hanging out. YouTube.com/TimcastIRL. We'll see you all there.